Hey Jeremy, welcome to the MasterCard Cup. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let that play on through. We'll put you back in your address position, and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you back here in your address position, let's just talk about your setup. So, your lower spine's straight and on a nice tilt, a little rounded up top in your spine there. Your legs come down maybe a little bit bent. And then you hold your arms down out in front of you and the club works out to the ball. So if I were going to work on your golf game, we would revise your posture here by throwing your tail out and up, at the same time throwing your chest out, up, and forward. What that's going to do, it's going to increase the angle to your spine, and then any curvature with your upper back that you have, maybe it'll help reduce that. But it's not really necessary to get the upper back straight. It's very important that the lower back is straight, and then the most important thing is not having the spine so vertical like we're seeing with you. From there, as you get your tail out, that's going to straighten your legs a little bit so that your legs are only now unlocked and not bent. And then from there, you can let your arms hang down, so maybe your hands are just a little bit closer to your thighs, letting the club work out to the ball, and increasing the angle relationship sort of between the arms and the golf club in here is imperative. So improving your starting position is critical because the entire golf swing functions about this axis, and especially the spine here. Okay, so very important to refine this position. At this point in time, your alignment looks pretty good, so let's just get right into a little bit of swing motion concepts. We'll put Jordan Spieth up on the left side of the screen. I've got some color-coded lines here on the screen just to use as a visual reference as it pertains to swing plane. We can see with Jordan Spieth, as he initiates the takeaway, creates good shoulder rotation, drawing the arms and hands back as well as the club. We want to see the club coming back along the red line. That means the club is swinging back on proper plane. Also, in the early stages of the golf swing, we need to incorporate some wrist hinge, which means we need to take the club head from currently being below and in front of our hands to getting that club head now above and behind our hands. This is a very important transitional move in the takeaway. From here, we're now going to work the club from red up to blue, completing that wrist hinge, also completing the shoulder rotation, and doing this about a very stable right leg, all the while maintaining the posture axis that we achieved at address. Now when we get to the top of the swing, we can either set our left arm and our club on the blue line like we see with Jordan Spieth, or anywhere in the blue-yellow V zone or on yellow. I actually prefer amateur players to be set with their left arm on yellow, but obviously with having maximized wrist hinge. We can see with Jordan Spieth that he takes his left arm and maximizes his wrist hinge and gets to blue. So let's go ahead and take a look at your backswing here. We can see that you draw your hands out away from your core. You're taking the club shaft and your club head outside of the golf ball. One of the things we have to understand is if we're going to swing this golf club back on plane, so the shaft right now is camouflaged by the red line, we have to understand that swinging the club back on a proper plane means the club head works on an arc. An arc works on a circle. A circle is going to work inside of the golf ball. So we can see with Jordan Spieth as he initiates this takeaway, club's coming back, the shaft's coming back on plane, right on that red line, but where's the club head? The club head is inside of the ball, not outside of the ball. So unfortunately you're taking your hands, arms, and golf club outside, almost picking the club up. Hopefully we get some wrist hinge into play, but we can see this club head is way out in front of your hands. It's not above and behind, okay? At some point in time here, your brain's going to tell you that you have to shallow this out because you're just not going to have any power whatsoever if you keep things out here. So at this point in time, we will start to see the club head start to work behind your hands. It'll take a while maybe for it to get there. And we can see, yeah, it's taking a long time for that club head to get behind your hands. But at this point in time, your arms have already worked back way too vertically, meaning that your left arm right now is above the blue line, which the steepest we would want is the left arm on the blue line. But like I said, I prefer amateur players to be located down on the yellow line. So we can see here you haven't completed your shoulder rotation. You need to turn behind the ball more. When you do that, that will also shallow out your arms. But the number one thing, as soon as you initiate your takeaway, go ahead and let your hands, arms, and golf club swing inside and around you, not outside. So that's the first thing you have to do. Soon as you swing your hands, arms, and golf club inside, keep it going around. allow your arms to get back into a shallower position with more turn. Soon as you change all of that, that is now going to help your downswing significantly. Okay? So unfortunately with you here, this is going to have a lot of effects to your actual golf swing. You're going to come over the top, you're going to come into the ball steep, you're going to attack the ball from outside. Unlike with Jordan Spieth, well, what are we going to do from the top of our swing? We're going to take our weight from our right foot, drive it to the left. We're going to fire the knees and the hips laterally to the target. We're going to unwind the core and we're going to fire the hands. In doing so, we're going to bring the club from that blue-yellow V zone and we're going to bring it back down onto red, which is where the club was originated. And this is very, very important here, getting the club to return back to plane. The other thing I want you to note is the relationship between the lead form and the golf club. I refer to this as the backwards check mark. This simply means the club head right now is remaining above and behind his hands, coming into the hitting zone. Okay? This is what's going to allow us to create a lot of power in our golf swing, let alone he's also going to hit the ball straight because the club has returned back to plane, which is a main criteria in producing straight golf shots. Now I want to go back down to address for a second. I talked about a very important move coming back. That was wrist hinge, getting the club head to move from below and in front of our hands to getting that club to move above and behind while we're creating our rotation. So when we do this, when we create this wrist hinge, do you notice what we've got? We've got the exact same backwards check mark. So a very, very important part of the golf swing, because from here, he gets up now to the blue-yellow V zone and drops it right back down into this check mark position. So if we want to hit the ball far and we want to hit the ball straight, we need this position. With you, because you haven't turned and the arms are too steep, as soon as you create your transition here, you're coming over the top for sure. So let's see here. Actually, do a good job there dropping your hands, but unfortunately you just haven't turned and you're not shallow enough that the hands have to come out in front of you. So what we're going to see here, if we mark your club head, first thing we're going to see is your club is not going to return back to plane. As we continue to come in, you're going to continue to throw that club further out in front of you. So there it goes. And further out in front of your hands. And then outside of the golf ball. So if we just sort of go ahead and connect the dots, we can get a pretty good visual sense as to what that descending plane was coming into the ball. The fact that it's over the top, it's coming in steep, it's attacking the ball from out to in. Unlike with Jordan Spieth, the club returned back to plane here and approached the golf ball from on plane. And as I already pointed out, this is the reason why we hit straight golf shots. Okay? So at this point in time, we can see that the downswing planes are vastly different with these yellow dots. And now we can go ahead and take a look at the actual path of the club. We can see with Jordan, his club is inside the ball. It expands out to make contact. It moves through in a nice natural subtle arc. So again, he's going to hit the ball straight based off his alignment as long as the club face squares up via having a good grip. With you, your club is outside the ball. It drops down and across to make contact and keeps moving across. So very simply put, if we square the club face up to that path, we'll hit the ball solid, but we're going to pull the ball way left. And if we happen to release the club to the same path, not only do we pull the ball, but now we're going to be hitting some form of a pull draw or pull hook. If we leave the club face a little bit open to the path, this is when you hit your ball well. The ball will start a little right of where we're swinging. It will have a little bit of left-right spin, and the ball will create a nice little fade and will find the intended target. If we leave the club face too open to the path, incredibly, we can start the ball out to the right, even though we're swinging left, and that just tells us how open the club face was, and therefore imparting a ton of left to right spin, and we're going to create this massive block slice. So the end result of the golf shot is dictated based on the timing of the club face, because the club is attacking the ball from outside, striking the ball, and moving inside. If we square the face up, it follows red. Over-release the club, continues down the smaller red arrows. Leave the club face wide open, follows blue, and if we time it properly, it will follow yellow. The other thing I want to look at here at impact is that your right foot is still flat on the ground. Notice with Jordan Spieth that his right heel's off the ground, and as he goes through to his finish, that right heel comes fully up off the ground onto the toe of his right foot. This gets our weight to our left side, allows our hips to square around to the target, shoulders to fully rotate, and the hands are high with the club back in behind us. With you, let's see if you create any footwork at all through to the finish or not. Okay, so your heel finally comes off the ground, you get up on your toe, but something I want you to notice here, look at your left foot. Your left foot is in good position here. You need to keep it planted there. Don't spin it. So right now your left foot spins on you, and now you're going to lose your balance. You're going to fall over. Okay? And you're creating too much activity with your right foot. All you want to do is you just want that right toe to come up off the ground. So watch how simple this footwork is. We're at the top of the swing. We swing through. We get up off our right heel. We get up on our right toe, and we keep our left foot planted. And we get a nice balanced finish. You got too much dancing around in your feet here, and it's causing you to fall over at the end of your swing. Okay, so you definitely need to fix that up so you can get yourself to a more refined, balanced finish. Overall, some nice athleticism here from you. Your hands work well. They come back and they fire through. You obviously need more turn coming back, more rotation in the shoulders. When you're creating that turn, you definitely have to swing your hands, arms, and golf club way more inside and around you. You got to stop taking the club outside and picking it up. Swing it inside and around. Shallow out your arms here with more turn. As soon as you do that, you're just going to hit the ball so much better. And it will reduce the amount you're coming over the top like what we're seeing there. Okay? At this point in time, all I really want to look at now is what did your club face actually do with this out-in path, and it looked like it actually did a pretty good job here. So let's get you the impact here with the club face. Club face sort of squares up. You're swinging left. We see the ball obviously starting in this direction over here. So it is going left. Now once it gets out in the air, depending again what that club face did, if it squared up, it'll stay there. If it over-released, it'll go too far left. If you left it just a hair open, that will fade right back online and it'll be perfect. And when you time it properly, that's exactly what you find happens, and you will find the intended target. But unfortunately, it does require a lot of timing on your part. Okay? And then beyond, revising your starting position with your posture, bringing the hands, arms, and golf club inside and shallowing up the top of your backswing with way more turn in your shoulders, which will automatically change your downswing and improve it immensely. Swing through with better footwork through to the finish. Okay? Some really, really good tips here. If you're able to apply them, big changes in your golf game, and then beyond that, you can go ahead and refine that even more. At any point in time, if you ever want to work on any of these aspects of your golf game, I'm located over at Glen Abbey in Oakville, and I'd be happy to structure a program for you. Also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments at all, you guys are looking for a unique gift to provide your guests, feel free to touch base. I'd be happy to discuss my swing analysis services. Anyways, again, hope you had a great day, and hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video. Take care.